Hello everybody, it's your boy Proftrof and we're back again with another Magic 40k lore explanation video. This is Mechanicus explained by an Australian, okay? The Mechanicus, they make the Empire's cute guns, okay? That's what they do, and they make some cute marines now on Mars. That's all I know about them.
Gal.
So let's
you
get
know
to
that
it.
weird
Oh yeah, and they worship a dragon in their planet or some shit that they think is a machine god. Weirdos.
class that had no friends and was obsessed with oiling up his calculator before exams, only spoke in binary and was always complaining about the burn marks on his cock? Well, maybe you should be nice to that guy, cause maybe, just maybe, he will be the one that will shoot up your skull. Sorry, that supplies you with all the goodies you need in order to purge heretics and xenos in the name of the Omnisar. Moral of the story is treat everyone with respect. Except Timmy, that little jizz guzzler.
Exactly.
The Mechanicus is the backbone of the Imperium despite being its own independent sub-faction. The irony is that a society that replaces their organs with engines and is obsessed with technology is also a society that is extremely superstitious and overtly religious. Like, they seductively rub oil on their machines while hooking up car batteries to their scrotums because they think it makes things run better. And, well, yes, this is
it certainly runs my bear.
Okay, so it does run better. Before we get started, I'm so excited to announce my partnership with Displate. Displate is basically a store full of countless artworks that you can buy.
What the
These
fuck, buddy?
artworks are then printed on metal and sent to you. For the past few months, I've had a few non-hentai artworks commissioned that are now available to be purchased on Displate, including the moment Thor...
If this is how he showcases the non-hentai content, I am scared for how he's gonna showcase the hentai content.
From Grudgebearer was killed by the Death Master during the end times. And then there's Anarian and Cetra chilling together. In my coming streams, I will cycle through some displays in the background to show you what they look like. And if you're keen to buy one of them or just any display, then use my link in the description for a solid discount, starting with 20% off for the next 7 days. Buying a display through my link is currently one of the best ways to support me as a creator, while also adding value to yourself via some dope ass art. Today we'll discuss the origins of the Mechanicus and what they've been up to. We'll also discuss some of the more interesting characters and then talk about if their entire religion and philosophy is a lie, resulting in them potentially praising a Catan as their god. Whoops. Let's get into it.
Whoops.
Before mankind reached for the stars or even created the first toaster, the God Emperor of mankind began preparing for a wild future ahead of him. He knew that one day he would need to rely on a supplier of war machines and technology if he was to clap the galaxy's cheeks. Hence, there was a large shard of the Void Dragon, a mega-powered Catan who had eaten dicks in the war against the Old Ones and Elder some time ago, on Earth for some apparent reason. The Big E was like, "Swiggity swaggity swooty, I'm coming for your draconian booty," and they fought. The Big E shoved his long, erect lance deep into the Void Dragon, causing heavy levels of penetration. Despite the victory, the Big E knew that attempting to destroy the Void Dragon shard would have serious consequences and would be quite the waste, hence he hauled its ass to Mars and locked him up. How did a medieval stage emperor fly a dragon to Mars, you might ask? The answer is shut the fuck up, stop asking. He's the emperor, he can do whatever he wants.
True.
The reasoning behind this is that
and if you say anything else, well, better grease that booty up, cuz Inquisition's coming, boy.
Dragon, old Voidy Boy was also an engineer who was extremely technologically savvy. Fair enough. Hence, by putting him on Mars, his essence would leak out and affect all those around him, turning them into toaster fucking weirdos. Then, mankind spread throughout the stars. The first planet they colonized was Mars. Elon landed there with his people and they created a technological paradise, terraforming the world and living in harmony as they then launched across the stars. An independent society from Earth, or Terra as it's now called. The influence of the Void Dragon caused Mars to accelerate their technological prowess even faster than the Terrans. They were aware of this influence but didn't realize it was a comatose dragon, hence they created the idea of the Omnisar, the machine god. Now when Elon passed away, his warning against the use of AI died with him, hence the Men of Iron were created at the pinnacle of mankind's technological prowess.
Shit.
The Men of Iron were extremely advanced AI that do what AI do best, rise up against
Yeah.
humanity, and then humanity did what they do best,
Fucking
wage a
Terminators.
costly war leading to their eventual victory. Now the Men of Iron uprising combined with massive warp storms combined
I
with the
didn't
rise
know
of
that this thing actually happened. So like they had a Terminator thing happen in 40k.
eventual victory.
Wow.
Now the Men of Iron uprising combined with
Wow.
massive warp storms combined with the rise of psychers appearing everywhere who kept spontaneously summoning demons, needless to say mankind was in rough shape. It got cut off from itself, and the few planets that
Jesus,
survived
look at
total
this motherfucker.
annihilation decided that the best way to deal with these challenges was just to fight each other. The civil war on Mars got so bad that the atmosphere was destroyed, and the planet was reduced back to a lifeless husk.
Oof.
Makes sense, after all Mars had all the fun toys on it. Whilst the Emperor was unifying Earth with his Space Marines, Custodes, and Thunder Warriors, Mars was finally unified
Rest in peace, Thunder Warriors.
by the cult of the Machine God, the Mechanicum, who were a group of radically high religious dudes that replaced their organs with Legos and... Are you ready? I'm gonna say it. They put their wieners in...
He said tee.
I'm gonna say it. They put their wieners in toasters. Comedy. I want to kill myself.
Same.
Just as the Emperor had planned. Now the Emperor was a master at manipulating the human body and twisting it to a degree that it became extremely powerful. However, despite completing an engineering course in college, he didn't have the knowledge or resources to build massive fleets of ships or titans. Hence he went to the Mechanicum and was like, I am the Omnissiah. And they were like, beep, fuck you, boop, no you ain't, bitch, beep, boop. So he was like, bring me that which is most sacred to you, but is irreparably broken. Hence the Martians brought him the sacred wearing WCT-815
It was
heavy
actually a
duty
space
full-slice
knight.
toaster. But Magical, you have said the toaster joke like 4 or 5 times now, it's getting really old. Silence
shit,
your
Timmy.
ignorant toasted mouth, Timmy, before I bring the full might of the wearing WCT-815 heavy duty full-slice toaster upon you. Just because jokes are overused and can be considered unfunny doesn't mean I'm not trying to try and milk them like the degenerate I am. With a quick flick of his
Fair
dick,
enough.
the Emperor repaired the sacred device before saying, I am the Omnissiah. Plus, I'll totally respect your twisted and weird religion as well as your sovereignty, and I'll also give you some navigators. And the Mechanicum was like, yeah right, here's our resources at your disposal. Although a number of Martians
No
weren't
beep
happy
boop.
with this
Okay.
and did not see the Emperor as the Omnissiah. Interestingly enough, at this point, the Imperium was all about atheism, something that the Mechanicum really wasn't about. So they basically just stuck their fingers in their ears and were like, la 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 la, can't hear you, whenever someone tried to point out this hypocritical fact. At the end of the day, turning a blind eye to some weirdos that froth machines is a very small price to pay to be able to have titans. The Great Crusade then began with the Mechanicum acting as a supporting role,
Titans.
occasionally taking planets to act as new Forge Worlds, or even rediscovering long lost ones. The only time they really got their dicks wet was when an STC was discovered, which sounds like it is some kind of genital wart, but it was actually a blueprint to some old overpowered technology. See, due to the Mechanicum superstitions, most of them banned the use or study of alien technology, as well as the invention or innovation of new technology. Hence pretty much the only times the Mechanicum would produce all new toys was when they discovered a blueprint, an STC, from the Dark Age of Technology, aka mankind at its peak. Now there are some Martians who think that is retarded, and inventing stuff is cool.
I wonder why. I mean, that's how they reached the golden age, no? By inventing shit, so why stop inventing shit? Doesn't make much sense.
Such as Cawl. But for the most part,
What
this
the
is
hell?
retarded, and inventing stuff is cool, such as
The fuck are you even? He has like it's General Grievous, but a worm, and more hands and more weapons. Double skull. What the General Grievous plus Professor Octopus or whatever that dude from Spider-Man was called.
Cawl. But for the most part, this is the reason to blame for mankind's hardcore technological regression. Hence, when an STC is discovered, or there are rumours of one existing, the Mechanicum rush in full force to where it is. Even the most minor
Cute
STCs
mask.
are treated like absolute gold. One time, a dude found an STC which has basically produced better combat knives, and as a reward, he was given an entire planet. Eventually, Horus's crippling hair loss burns out his sanity, and he declares jihad on the Emperor, kicking off the Horus Heresy and throwing the Imperium into turmoil. Horus knew he needed the support of the Mechanicum, hence he sent a diplomat to the Fabricated General, the literal and spiritual leader of the Mechanicum. He promised the Mechanicum total independence, completely removal of all restrictions, including the restriction preventing them from messing with AI, and he also gave them a couple STCs and the code to a vault full of seriously corrupted, overpowered tech. The Fabricated General was also a secret Big E hater and didn't think he was the Omnissiah, merely a pretender, hence he accepted the deal. And, he was high-key right, the Emperor was 100% not the Omnissiah, and the great lie of Mars was the Emperor using the Void Dragon to accelerate their technology, and then when it was ready, he just swept in and tricked them into giving it to him.
Yeah, that's little things though. Don't sweat the little things, okay guys? Don't sweat the little things.
Massive civil war ensued on Mars, called the Schism of Mars, where using the corrupted tech, sabotage and assassinations, as well as just all-out war, Mars fell to the traitors. The Mechanicum decided it needed to sound more evil, so it changed its name to the Dark Mechanicum.
Really?
Traitors attack Terra,
Really?
Horus fights the Emperor, Emperor kills Horus, but not before Horus kicks his ass so hard, the Emperor forever becomes a burden on the public healthcare system. The traitor legions run to the Eye of Terror, and the Dark Mechanicum is like, well, shit, as they are swiftly slaughtered by an extremely angry Imperium, as well as many loyalist tech priests who rise up against the Dark Mechanicum. The majority of the Mechanicum traitors are killed, with the rest running to the Eye of Terror or somewhere else in the galaxy. The Mechanicus is formed from the ashes of the Mechanicum, and their system is rebuilt. They get to keep their extremely heretical ideologies, however lost a lot of their sovereignty, becoming more of a powerful wing of the Imperium rather than a close ally. The Mechanicus would go on to feature really prominently over the next 10,000 years, engaging in a large variety of wars and their own unique way to fight them. It's the Mechanicus that usually accidentally wakes up Necron tomb worlds from getting too curious, and it's the Mechanicus that seemed to perform the best against the Tyranids. In one war against a tyrannic invasion, the Mechanicus was like, checkmate bitch, and lit their atmosphere on fire, meaning all the Tyranid dropships ignited and turned into flaming meteors that killed the Tyranids on the ground. This, combined with their method of war being incredibly effective against the Nids, make them less than a delicious snack. A key figure of the Mechanicus, who was also a bit of a heretic, the best people are, is Belisarius Cawl. Now the issue with replacing your body with robotic parts is that your personality doesn't really shine through, hence there aren't many interesting Mechanicus characters. Cawl was different. A fierce ally of the Emperor and acknowledged him as the Omnissiah, but was also not a fan of the Mechanicus refusing to innovate and invent. He also played with a lot of heretical technologies, including the art of soul merging, which basically was copying your mind over to a new body, a technique he learnt after absorbing the knowledge from an old colleague he killed. Eventually Cawl was recalled to Terra to help a scientist, who worked on the Astartes project, achieve immortality through having his consciousness uploaded into Cawl's body. Cawl wasn't super down with this idea, but was left with no choice after the scientist shot his friend and promised to save him upon the upload. The scientist thought his willpower was strong enough to overpower Cawl's and become the dominant consciousness, but he was so wrong. His wrongness was to such a degree that when the scientist first met the Emperor, long before the Cawl incident, the Emperor saw that Cawl would dominate him in the future, hence addressed the confused scientist as Cawl, and delivered future messages to future Cawl via the scientist's
bruh, the fucking Emperor is 20 moves ahead. That's why I'm starting to think that the Emperor let Horus, disempower him and shit, just so he doesn't have to pay, taxes and shit. But does he pay even taxes? He's the Emperor though. Like, he must have had a plan when he got fucked. He's like 50 million steps ahead of everybody, so.
Emery. The message was basically the Emperor being like, I like your style, boy. Commit more heresy. Cawl was tasked with creating the Primaris Space Marines with the encouragement of Emperor's words, the stolen memories of the scientist, and Gulliman's direct orders. So for the next 10,000 years, he did that. He also absorbed dozens of minds into himself during this time and now suffers from multiple personality disorder.
Oh shit.
This is made worse by the fact that he has to periodically wipe his own memories to avoid overloading his brain and going completely insane.
Okay.
Despite these obvious challenges, he remains a steadfast and valuable ally to the Imperium. He nearly won the battle for Cadia for the Imperium by teaming up with Trans the Infinite, a Necron Pokemon collector, to activate the Necron pylons. He then went on to bring Gulliman back to life with the help of the Eldar, before finally unleashing the Primaris. Overall, Cawl is a badass, and I'm excited to see what his fractured mind comes up with next.
Jesus, look
Now,
at this boy.
if you know a bit about Warhammer, you know that despite the ban on AI, there is still AI. The concept of a machine spirit probably needs its own video, but we can cover the basics now. Every bit of human technology, from your bolter gun to your mum's vibrator, has a machine spirit. Basically, small consciousnesses, is that a word, that affect the world around it. For a
Okay.
gun, this might manifest as you hitting a really clutch shot due to the spirit of the bolter making a small adjustment to your aim if it's happy, or if it's mad at you, you might miss an easy shot. For things such as knights or titans, this often manifests in full-blown personalities. Now, the machine spirits are considered to be war-based and likely exist due to the collective belief by the Mechanicus reinforced by the Void Dragon, so they get a bit of
So like when the orcs believe that the machine's gonna run, so it runs, but this is that everything has a spirit, so it does.
leeway as it's not
Interesting.
exactly coded AI. This, as well as the fact that Mars gets to enjoy a bit higher levels of heresy than everyone. Obviously, Cawl takes this a step further and built fully functioning independent AI. Oh, Cawl, you silly goose. Overall, the Mechanicus is one of the most interesting and unique factions to grace not just the 40k, but also all sci-fi universes. You would expect hyper-technological abominations who replace their flesh with metal and fuck kitchen appliances not to be the religious type, but this is 40k, where everyone hates the Tau because they try to use common sense in a galaxy void of logic. And, by the way, there is Mechanicus hentai on my Patreon.
Oh
And that does it
boy.
for today, guys. A look at the most
Oh,
helpful
boy.
arsenals in the Imperium, the Mechanicus. Remember, guys, the Displate partnership is live, and this is the only place you can get these original artworks commissioned by me. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be.
Okay.
Only $1 gives you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai, with
Hentai,
$10
baby.
giving you access to the Major Kill Hentai calendar. Hit the
Hentai
subscribe button,
calendar.
then hit the real subscribe button for more toaster fucking content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Anyway, quick thank you to my patrons, real quick. Pedro Martins, Comas, Collier, Robert, Princess, Asterix, Fuel, Chicken 53. I'm getting faster, boys. I'm getting faster. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all enjoy that? Mechanicus seems like a pretty cool faction. Besides the whole, ban on advanced technology, that seems kind of stupid as hell. What? But yeah, I'm excited. So far, I've not seen the new Space Marines being featured in a lot of stories. I don't know how new are the new Space Marines. Like when did that become a thing? Like that Primaris Space Marines things. Y'all know what I mean. I know when that became a thing, because I don't see them featured that much. Anyway, yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. I'll see you next time.